In the heart of a deadly swamp, a lion cub clung to life, and hope arrived when all seemed lost. One quiet afternoon in a deep, silent swamp, a young lion cub named Leo accidentally slipped and fell into the thick mud. The heavy, viscous substance slowly engulfed his small body as he struggled desperately, his tiny paws grasping at a dry branch jutting out from the murky waters. Leo's frightened cries echoed through the eerie stillness of the swamp, a haunting sound that pierced the humid air. Not far away, his father, a strong lion named Zane, was keeping a watchful eye on Leo's three siblings. The moment Zane's keen ears caught the sound of his son's distressed calls, he sprang into action. With powerful strides, he raced towards the edge of the swamp, his heart pounding with fear and determination. Upon reaching the treacherous, muddy banks, Zane let out a thunderous roar, his voice filled with anxiety and frustration. The dangerous, unstable ground prevented him from venturing further to rescue his beloved cub. Zane paced back and forth along the swamp's edge, his eyes never leaving Leo's struggling form. He let out low, encouraging growls, urging his son to fight, to hold on just a little longer. The other cubs huddled together nearby, their small bodies trembling with fear as they watched their brother sink deeper into the unforgiving mud. The sight of their sibling in peril filled them with a mixture of terror and helplessness. As night fell, casting long shadows across the swamp, Leo's strength began to wane. His small body, exhausted from hours of fighting against the relentless pull of the mud, could barely maintain its grip on the fragile branch. The young cub's eyes, once bright with life and curiosity, now dulled with fatigue and despair. Yet deep within his heart, a tiny spark of hope refused to be extinguished. Leo clung to that last thread of hope as tenaciously as he held onto the branch, his will to survive burning fiercely, even as his physical strength ebbed away. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight began to filter through the dense canopy of the swamp, a local man named Alex ventured into the area in search of firewood. The forest was quiet, save for the occasional chirp of a bird or rustle of leaves. As Alex made his way through the undergrowth, his ears picked up a faint, almost imperceptible whimper. Curiosity piqued, he cautiously approached the source of the sound, pushing aside low-hanging branches and navigating around fallen logs. What Alex discovered left him momentarily stunned. There, barely visible amidst the thick, dark mud, was a lion cub. The small creature was almost completely submerged, with only its head and one paw still above the surface. Leo's eyes, barely open, met Alex's gaze with a mixture of fear and desperate hope. Without a second thought, Alex sprang into action, quickly scanned the area, and spotted a long, sturdy branch nearby. Grabbing it, he carefully extended it towards the struggling cub. With gentle coaxing and painstaking care, Alex managed to pull Leo from the mud's deadly embrace. The cub's fur was matted and caked with thick, dark sludge, his tiny body trembling with cold and exhaustion. Cradling the fragile creature in his arms, Alex knew he had to act fast. With determination in his steps, he began the long trek through 10 kilometers of dense forest, heading towards the nearest ranger station. The journey was arduous, with Alex navigating treacherous terrain while trying to keep the weakened cub as comfortable as possible. Every whimper from Leo spurred Alex to move faster, his own fatigue forgotten in the face of the cub's urgent need for help. After what seemed like an eternity, the ranger station finally came into view, a beacon of hope in the wilderness. At the station, Park Ranger Daniel and a veterinarian quickly took charge of the situation. Their experienced eyes immediately recognized the gravity of Leo's condition. The cub was severely dehydrated, his small body pushed to the very limits of endurance. Without immediate intervention, Leo's chances of survival were slim. Working with practiced efficiency, Daniel and the vet set about providing emergency care. Over the next few days, Leo's life hung in a delicate balance. The dedicated team worked tirelessly, feeding him small amounts of nutrient-rich formula, keeping him warm, and monitoring his vital signs around the clock. Every breath Leo took was a small victory, a sign that the tiny fighter wasn't ready to give up. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, signs of improvement began to show. As days turned into weeks, Leo's recovery gathered momentum. The dullness in his eyes was replaced by a spark of curiosity and vitality. His once matted and muddy fur began to regrow, soft and golden. Leo's strength returned gradually, and soon he was taking his first tentative steps around the recovery area. His playful nature emerged, bringing smiles to the faces of his caretakers as he pounced on toys and practiced his little roars. After a month of intensive care and rehabilitation, Leo had transformed. The frail, mud-covered cub that Alex had rescued was now a healthy, vibrant young lion. His recovery was nothing short of miraculous, a testament to the resilience of nature and the compassion of those who had fought so hard to save him. As Leo grew stronger, Daniel and the team began to prepare him for his return to the wild, a bittersweet moment that they knew was approaching. Early one crisp morning, as dawn broke over the forest, Daniel carefully loaded Leo into a transport crate. The journey back to the swamp was filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. As they neared the location where Leo had been found, Daniel's keen eyes spotted movement in the undergrowth. There, waiting with an almost unnatural patience, were Zane and Leo's 3 siblings. It was as if the lion family had never stopped searching, never given up hope that their lost member would return. When Daniel opened the crate and Leo emerged, blinking in the soft morning light, there was a moment of stillness. Then, with a burst of energy, Leo ran forward, his small body quivering with excitement and joy. Zane met his son halfway, greeting him with a deep, rumbling growl that seemed to vibrate through the very earth. The powerful lion gently nuzzled Leo, his rough tongue carefully licking away the last traces of his ordeal. The reunion was a symphony of purrs, gentle headbutts, and silent, profound affection. Leo's siblings crowded around, sniffing and nuzzling their brother, their earlier fear replaced by jubilation at his return. Daniel stood back, watching the scene unfold with a heart full of emotion. The raw power of nature, the unbreakable bonds of family, and the triumph of hope over despair, all played out before his eyes. As the lion family began to move away, disappearing into the lush green of the forest, Zane paused for a moment. The majestic lion turned his head, his amber eyes meeting Daniel's gaze. The wordless message of gratitude passed between man and beast, a recognition of the miracle that had transpired. And so, in that quiet moment, in a harsh and unforgiving swamp that had nearly claimed a young life, a small miracle had quietly unfolded. Leo's journey from the brink of death to his joyous reunion was a testament to the indomitable spirit of life and the profound impact of compassion. As Daniel made his way back to the ranger station, the memory of Leo's rescue and return would forever remind him of the delicate balance between life and death in the wild, and the power of hope to overcome even the darkest of circumstances.